Okay, so we're back. Today we're making rye bread. Make it very similarly to the other breads, but this time we're going to use a food processor. Okay, makes it nice and easy. A lot of people have a food processor, maybe more than have stand-up mixers, so I figured we'd do this. What you're going to do is take your handy-dandy bread mix. And you're going to take out just a little, keep that on the side. Then we'll start with our wet ingredients. We'll need water. In there. Then some yeast. Yeasty beasties. And then a little honey. To feed the yeasties. Give that a good stir. Then, so we don't forget, we're going to put our butter with our dry ingredients. We don't want to forget anything. We're going to let this proof for a few minutes. Now we're going to add a couple of eggs. Okay. I'm going to stir the eggs in. And then we're going to add our dry ingredients. And then we're going to add what makes it rye bread. I have a rye improver that I get from King Arthur Flour. I add 2 tablespoons of rye improver. And I add 2 tablespoons of caraway seeds, please. Get you a nice rye caraway bread. Now we're going to mix this all together. Give it a nice stir so it's a big homogenized blob. It's a blob, another technical term I'm throwing at you. Okay. In here, now I have my machine has a dough blade, which does not have a sharp edge. It cuts through your dough without tearing it. So if you have one of those, go ahead and use it. If not, it's not a huge deal. Now we're just going to plop this right in there. Put it on your food processor. Put your top on. And turn it on. Now, presumably yours will work. There. Push it down. Make sure that your blade is all the way down. There you go. Now we're going to let that pulse for a bit. It'll take it a minute to kind of start moving. There you go. And this is going to take the place of the kneading. There you go. We'll do this for a few minutes until it's been kneaded by the machine, and then we'll pop it out here. We'll continue to hold. Thank you. We're going to dump it out. Nice firm dough. And just knead that a couple more times into a nice little ball. Then we're going to let this sit for about half an hour and proof. And then we'll shape the dough and bake it. Rye bread. Okay, now we are going to shape our rye bread. Rye bread is kind of a bowl shape, a ball shape, but we're going to point the ends up a little bit because I'm a traditionalist and I like that. Okay. So, this down a little bit. Flip it over. We're just going to curl it up like that. And then we're going to, you see there's a seam here. We're going to close that seam. And doing that gives the bread a slightly pointed oblong end, which is traditionally what a rye bread is shaped like. Now, you may get little bubbles here, and that's just gas bubbles, and you can just open them up. It doesn't really, it's just the yeast doing its job, okay? Now we're gonna let that sit for half an hour, and then we will bake this. Parchment, and over here to proof. Alrighty, we are gonna score our rye bread and give it a nice glaze. So egg wash, please. Alrighty, get that all nice and glazed and beautiful. To score it. So, scalpel. Now let's stay traditional. We're just going to give it 3 slashes across the top. Plop it in the oven, and it will be a golden brown and delicious in 30 minutes. Cut to the oven. All right, now we're gonna put the rye bread in the oven. Goes in at 400. It's gonna go in for 30 minutes. This will probably take about 30 minutes. It doesn't have anything but the seeds in it, so I'm thinking about 30 minutes. We'll check it. So we're gonna pop it in. Let the magic start. Okay, we're back. We're gonna take the rye bread out of the oven. I'm gonna check and make sure that it's about 200 degrees internally. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to flip it over. Sounds nice and hollow on the inside. The rye really expands. So be aware of that, and make sure that you don't have your oven racks too close, because it will squish up. So we're going to wait about an hour to slice that. And then you are going to have the most delicious rye bread. It's going to be awesome.